Superman showed up at the campus of UCLA in Westwood here in Los Angeles today in the person of Christopher Reeve, and before he talked to the students at that college, I talked to him.
General, would you care to step outside?
Superman!
Well, in a few minutes you go downstairs and you speak to the group here at UCLA. What about?
I hope I don't get eaten alive. I mean, it's funny, to go in front of a group of students is very exciting and a little scary at the same time because, I mean, I was just a student myself, I graduated from college 7 years ago. And it's tricky to know what the relationship really is, And I guess what I'm going to talk about is the transition from, particularly for theater arts students, like, being a student actor to how you go out and cut it in the real world, so to speak.
Well, as you know, Chris, for most of them, if they are theater arts students, whatever success they will attain in their careers won't come quite as quickly as yours.
Well, see, that's why I say it's difficult. Come and say, well, here's how to become a major star in 5 years. It's like, when I come out like I made it and that I'm anybody special. It's difficult. It's difficult. I have an easier time when I talk to small groups of 3-year-olds, because they just look up and go, like that.
Where's your cape, right?
Right, they don't care. You don't need a cape. Margot Kidder, who plays Lois Lane, had a birthday party one time for her little daughter Maggie while we were shooting Superman. And all the kids were promised that Superman was going to show up, so I come in wearing T-shirt and blue jeans, right? And you would think that this would freak them all out. I just told them, no, it's Saturday and the cape's at the wash. So they still thought I was Superman. Somebody threw a Frisbee across the room, and it went right over the top of the fence into the next yard. And damn, if I had to wait till the kids weren't looking, and then climb over the fence and get the
Haltingly, right?
Yeah. Excuse me, the kids are just...
Not in a single bound.
They don't care.
Do you think you may have the same problem in years to come as Sean Connery claims he's had trying to shake the James Bond image? I don't know how many James Bond movies he made, but it's certainly not as many as most people think.
Listen, I would love to have Sean Connery's problem, because he's one of the world's best actors. He's made more films than you can shake a stick at, and he's a terrific guy respected by the entire community. So if that's typecasting, I'd love it.
How many more Superman movies will there be, though?
I don't know. Could go on forever, but I'm only doing one more, and then I'll check out. They said, how much money would it take you to do Superman 4? And I said, there isn't a bank big enough. So we'll see how, we'll see if I feel that way next year. But I think when you start working for money, just for money, you've turned a corner in your life. I don't mean to sound noble, but I really do feel that it's important to get up in the morning and like going to work.
Well, this past year, you did a play on Broadway.
Yeah, I did 6 months on Broadway and 2 films. And I have 2 films coming out this year, and I'm shooting Superman 3 in July. And then I have 2 more films planned for '83.
So you're going to keep busy. So there may be some cynics who say, well, it's easier for him to say about, banks being big enough for doing Superman 4 since there are a lot of other jobs.
Well, the question is, yeah, that's a fair criticism, really. That's fair. But I think that this is a way that I would choose to live my life, even if I were, parking cars. I really would, because I can't stand the idea of saying, well, I'm cranking this out to pay bills. Life's too short to, if you don't have to. I mean, people say, well, I've got to, support myself in the style to which I've become accustomed. Well, you can back off a little bit, you don't have to drive a roller. You can sell your airplane. There's ways to accommodate.
On your behalf, though, you did go back, I'm sure, after Superman 1, when a lot of movie offers were rolling in to the Williamstown Theater Festival.
And that's where I began, really. I was an apprentice there at the age of 15, and it's a place that I have a strong allegiance to. There's a thing that happens when you become a, quote, celebrity, which is that you no longer have the sort of the privacy to go off and experiment because people are looking. They want to know,
You can't hide anymore.
Yeah, and so how are you going to grow, right, after you've become a star? How are you going to really challenge yourself without the freedom, the laboratory, so to speak? And Williamstown is that place where I can go and sort of hide out. It's becoming more of a public place, though. I mean, when I did the front page, I was shocked to find it reviewed in Newsweek. This isn't what I'm...
Had you not been there, obviously, it wouldn't have been.
So it's good for the theater, but also for me, it means an adjustment. And the adjustment I make is, well, I'm going to pretend that it's a private place the way it was. I'm just going to deny that it's in the limelight. And you can trick yourself that way to sort of narrow the focus and say, this is a place where I experiment and improve and grow and try new things.
Do you think we'll ever get to the point here in the United States that there currently at in England, where major stars will go and do what we would call regional theater for 6 months, 4 months, however long, do the plays, get the acting exercise they need, and then go back and make a film to make the money.
I think it's becoming increasingly that way. A couple of generations ago, to be a movie star was a full-time job. The public imagined that the persona on the screen was the same as the persona off-screen. Studio publicity machinery encouraged that opinion. And nowadays, the movie star really only has to create the magic on the screen, and then he can get into his Datsun and wear sneakers and, do whatever drive away, which I think is good. It's maybe not quite as magical as it once was. It's not the stuff of fantasy. Yet, performances are better. I mean, if you look at the Oscar-nominated material, if you look like an actress like Meryl Streep, people, Sally Field, De Niro, they might not have come up through the ranks as high as they have a couple of generations ago. So the work is better. And if you had to pick a time to be a movie star, I'd certainly pick now, when we have much more personal freedom.
Now, of the films, the 2 films that you said you have completed, the one that will be released soonest is Death Trap.
Yes, Death Trap is a lot of fun, really. This is not a hard sell. I've always wanted to be in a thriller. Because first of all, the big problem is that I won't be able to go to opening night because I will probably be in a coma under the seat, just frightened out of my wits. I can't take it, I mean, I never could see The Bird, Psycho, any of that stuff. I'm terrified. So to actually make a thriller and scare other people is a lot of fun. But this is a thriller that combines laughs with suspense, and it's very, very stylishly done. Sidney Lumet directed. Michael Caine and Diane Cannon are in it. Jay Allen, who wrote The Prime Miss Jean Brodie, Prince of the City, she did the screenplay. It's really, sort of first class all the way, and I had a great time doing it.
I remember interviewing Michael Caine when he was in another film that had been made from a play that had been quite successful on Broadway.
Oh, Sleuth.
Sleuth, right, in which he co-starred with Laurence Olivier, and I asked him what it was like the first day on the set, and he said, thank God I had no lines, because he said I wouldn't have been able to speak in the presence of Sir Lawrence. Now, I don't know what your feelings are about Michael Caine, because now he's in the senior position.
He's Olivier and I'm Caine.
Yeah.
He's become Olivier and I'm Caine in this picture.
Had you been a fan of his in a sense?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. He's somebody who has a wide range of talent, from Zulu Dawn to Dressed to Kill. I mean, he's lasted a long time, and you don't last a long time in this business. Not that he's, ancient, but you don't last that long without something very original, and he has it. He just has that indefinable something which makes him special.
For those who are not familiar with the material, who didn't see the play or read about it, a capsule of what Death Trap is about.
Well, I can't tell you what happens past page 26. Because
well, give us the first 25 pages.
Yeah, the first 25 pages are a pretty good hook. You have a playwright, a writer of thrillers, lives in Long Island, and he's written major hits. He's suddenly in a very bad dry spell, and we catch him on opening night of his latest thriller called Murder Most Fair, which is a major bomb. I mean, sort of Heaven's Gate time, right? And there's one reviewer and it says, Sidney Bruhl's latest thriller just opened at the comedy thriller just opened at the Morosco Theater. So much for truth in advertising,
in trouble.
It's like it's billed as a whodunit. Well, I'll tell you who done it. Sidney Bruhl done it, and he done it in public. It's those kind of reviews. He goes home very smashed, sort of depressed, and on that day, by coincidence, a script has arrived in the mail from one Clifford Anderson, who was a student of playwriting at a seminar that Sidney gave last year, who has written the perfect 5-character, 2-act, commercial, easy-to-cast, all-time money-making thriller, plus T-shirts. Could make about $3 million. So, in the first act of the movie, Sidney Bruhl conspires to invite this guy to his house, knock him off, and pass off this play as his own, and then the fun starts from there.
Sidney being Michael Caine, and the younger writer being yourself.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with it. And good luck here today when you journey downstairs to talk to the folks here at UCLA.
Thank you. I think they'll be friendly. They won't bark.
Just take off your, go. We'll race now to the nearest phone booth.
Okay.
After all these years of watching UCLA play football, I had never realized it was an all-girls school. At 11 o'clock this morning, in the hall where Christopher was scheduled to speak, the audience was just about full, and full of women, and he wasn't scheduled to speak until 12 o'clock. I thought UCLA was co-ed. We're going to take a short break now, and I'll be back with Tom Dreesen.
Show.